This is the Para Cave Podcast, proudly brought to you by major sponsor Parramatta Leagues Club, home of the Eels, and also home of Jack's Pale Ale.
Welcome to another episode of the Para Cave Podcast. And now over to your host, Troy Warner, broadcasting live from the world-famous Para Cave.
And yes, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Para Cave Podcast. Troy Warner here, and it was round number 4 in the NRLW competition, and it was Parramatta's first home game of the season. It was at Eric Tweedale Stadium in Sydney, and I did venture out to Marylands for that game, and it was the first time I'd been to Eric Tweedale Stadium. Nice little boutique stadium it was. Good to see some familiar faces out there for the game. There was only a crowd of 618 apparently due to the stats there, but it was, as I said, a boutique little stadium. There was a fair, obviously a much Parramatta support there. There was a few Newcastle fans there as well, as they were playing the Harvey Norman game after this NRLW game. It was the first NRLW game on the Sunday. There was a few more after that one, but the first one to be played and televised. And look, Newcastle, they came out with a good win last week, I think it was, so they were confident. Parramatta, they were confident against this team, and as I said, their first home game of the season. Unfortunately, they went down to 30 points to 6, so a little bit of a touch-up for the Parramatta Eels. They were in third position on the ladder. Unfortunately, I think that has now put them in sixth spot on the ladder, which the top 6 of the season, the regular season, do go into the finals. So yes, the Newcastle Knights, they basically swap positions with the Parramatta Eels. The Knights are in third position now, and Parramatta are in sixth position on the same number of points as the Bulldogs, Dragons and Titans, who are in ninth spot on the ladder. So it'll be a crucial game up at Magic Round, but we'll get to that a little bit later in the podcast. Look, the big thing that I found, and many others around me found at the time, about this game was when a Parramatta player made a break, or it looked like there was an opportunity for an offload, there basically just wasn't any support. I don't know whether there was a chance for an offload at times. Sometimes when they made a break, there just wasn't any support. The Newcastle Knights, obviously more experienced. The first try to test Danes, I think that was a couple of missed tackles, unfortunately. Parramatta, they didn't score a point in the first half, but in the second half, they needed to be that team to score that first try, which they did, and it was converted from Rachel Pearson, which got them back to 12-6. Now, when it was 12-6, I thought, yep, good chance, good opportunity for this side to get back into this game at 12-6, and I must mention that it was Elsie Albert, who scored the try in the 39th minute in the second half. Went close, I think, a few weeks ago, could have even been last week, to scoring. It was awarded by the referee after it went to the video, but it did look like she did get the ball down, and it was awarded as a try in the 39th minute. Rachel Pearson, she converted that try, and as I said, I thought it could have ignited this Parramatta side back into contention. They needed to be the next team to score again. Unfortunately, at that point in the game, Yasmin Clydesdale went over for a try, and then 10 minutes later, Sheridan Gallagher went over for a try as well, and then there was another try scored in the 59th minute, and the score just really did blow out. 5 conversions out of 5 from Jesse Southwell as well, which made the scoreline 30 points to 6, which was, look, really disappointing for the crowd who turned out there for that first home game. It was good to get back, or for the women to get back and to their home ground. They will be playing some games at CommBank Stadium later on in the season. I think there is another ground in Sydney that they do play at. I think I'll have to double check the draw. But Eric Tweedale, as I said, first time I've been there, nice little stadium. There is a lot of hilled area. There is a small grandstand there, which was pretty much full. The players actually have to go down some steps, I think, to get to the field, which could be a little bit awkward for that. I think they have to do that at Leichhardt Oval too, I think, to be honest, when they come out of the sheds. But yeah, nice little boutique stadium, good little crowd size. Unfortunately, the result didn't go the way. It did start raining after full time, which was probably pretty good, I guess, because most of the crowd, unfortunately, they probably left then. There was some Parramatta fans that did hang around for the Harvey Norman game after that as well. But yeah, look, really disappointing. Look, as I said, just looked like a bit of lack of support when someone made a break or broke a tackle or whatever. Just Parramatta had a few opportunities to score, but just couldn't get the ball over the line. Some handling errors as well, which didn't help the cause for the Eels. To the top performers, well, that lady there, as I mentioned, Elsie Albert, she was probably the player of the match. Although I did think that Ruben Cherrington and Tess McWilliams also played really, really well, as did Captain Mahalia Murphy, her second game back from injury. So, as I mentioned, Elsie Albert there, 15 runs, 187 metres, 1 try. That was in 50 minutes of play, 23 tackles, only 3 missed. So a massive effort from Elsie. She has been named in Teams of the Week across social media, and well deserved there. Abby Church, 16 runs, 140 metres. That was one thing also that I did find really interesting at Eric Tweedale Stadium, was the fact that you could actually hear the players on the field as well. At these bigger stadiums, you can't hear that unless you're really close to the ground. But this one, you could hear that, and you don't get to hear that on TV. And it just really was interesting. Abby Church there at fullback, giving instructions to her front line as to where the ball was going, when the ball was going to the kicker, as normal fullbacks do. Even the other players in the team as well, just communicating between each other. You could actually hear that on the field. So I found that really good in terms of, this is the best women's competition that you can have in rugby league. So it was good to see the professionals at work and what they do up close, and you could hear them as well. But Abby Church, 16 runs, 140 metres, as you would expect from the fullback. She is a leader in this Parramatta Eels side, that is for sure. Martha Mattaelli, 12 runs, 130 metres from out there on the wing. That lady there, Mahalia Murphy, as I mentioned, the captain, 12 runs, 141 metres, 17 tackles, only 2 missed tackles. Now, one little thing I did notice on being live at the ground as well, I'm not too sure if you, the listeners, noticed it at home on the TV, but Mahalia actually plays with two different coloured boots, so a different colour on the left, different colour on the right. It is a blue one on the... I'll probably get this wrong, so I apologise if I do, but I think it's a blue one on the left and a pink one on the right. Now, I sent Mahalia a message on social media asking that question. I saw that you had one pink boot and one blue boot. What's the story behind that? As I've never seen a footy player do that before, which was quite interesting, to be honest. Thankfully, Mahalia got back to me, and I appreciate that. I let my Instagram followers vote for which two odd boots I should wear, and those two got the most votes. It was just for a little interaction and connection with the followers. So, well done to Mahalia for that connection with her followers as well. And I thought it was a great idea, to be honest. I thought they might have been in one blue one, one gold one, but it was blue and pink. And also, she just wanted to get that connection with the fans as well, her followers. I just wanted the followers to feel they contributed to something I wear for the season for a bit of fun. And look, I think that's well done, getting a bit of connection with the fans. And yeah, just something I noticed yesterday. I think in the tackle, one of the boots came off, and I was looking and I saw, one blue boot, one pink boot. That I don't think I've ever seen any men's player do that, or any other female player for that matter. So just a little something that the captain has done for this season. So well done, Mahalia. And a second game back from injury as well, a real captain's knock as well. Still got Kennedy Cherrington to come back in this side as well. Tess McWilliams, as I mentioned there, 31 minutes. Two stints there. 19 minutes was her first stint, and then 11 minutes was her second stint. 12 tackles, 10 runs for 115 metres. There was a couple of, I think it may have even been one set where she took 2 runs in a row, and always looked troubled being tackled by the Newcastle Knights. I think there was something like 37 or 47 post-contact meters, which just tells you that 45 it was. So just shows you how hard it was to take her down once you initially make contact with her. But yeah, really played well, had the headband on, and a really good player and good find. I think has just re-signed for Parramatta for another couple of years as well, which is great news as well. When it comes to tackles, well, Chloe Jackson in the second row there, the number 11 with the headgear, 39 tackles. That's a massive effort once again, and just a real worker in this side. Only the 2 missed tackles, 90.7% tackle efficiency, and got really involved in this game. 10 runs for 90 metres as well. Played the full game as well. Ruben Cherrington, a bit of a new look for Ruben. She has ditched the headgear. We're used to seeing her with the headgear on, but has ditched that now. So the number 9 there for the Parramatta Eels, 9 runs, 114 metres as well for Ruben, and 36 tackles, only the 2 missed. Played 58.5 minutes in this game. Her interchange partner, Tanika Todd-Hunter, had a great game as well. 29 minutes off the interchange bench. Only the 2 runs for 11 metres, but 27 tackles in that time as well. Lindsay Tui, the centre, missed most of last year's season. I think it could have been all of last season with I think it could have been a jaw injury. Someone please correct me if I am wrong. But I think that was suffered in the under-19 State of Origin game that was played. I think it was at Leichhardt Oval. She was playing for New South Wales. I think suffered that in that game. 12 runs, 124 metres, also 29 tackles as well. And Cassie Tohuhiku, 23 tackles. And I must say, two of those tackles were absolutely bone rattlers. Played really tough and put on a couple of big shots on the opposition. I don't know who they were. I can't remember who they were on, but I felt them standing up on the hill. I felt them as well. Came off the field with a bit of a bloodied lip, I think it was. So really put herself into the action, that is for sure. 7 runs, 55 metres. Also, one dummy half run for 10 metres. Also, 23 tackles, only 2 missed, 4 kicks, 76 metres as well, with 1 forced dropout as well. Rachel Pearson, 14 kicks, 262 metres. Probably didn't have her best game. I think Newcastle really sort of targeted her. The kick pressure on her was good. She blitzed it last week against Canberra, scoring 18 points, but then again the whole team did. But I guess Newcastle did their homework on Rachel. Didn't have that. Only had 13 runs for 70 metres. Still a pretty fair effort, a busy day, just not as good as last week. But they were your top performers of the weekend. And look, Newcastle, as I said, they are a quality side, led around the park by Jessie Southwell, the New South Wales State of Origin halfback, who overtook Rachel Pearson this season as the halfback. So led around quite well. They do have a few internationals in their side, most notably I guess Yasmin Clydesdale, 29 tackles, 202 run metres for her. Former Parramatta Eels player Botil Vetty Welsh, now the Newcastle fullback, 1 line break for her as well. Did actually see her after the game, said hello as well. Former guest on the podcast as well, a long time ago now, back when she was playing for Parramatta. So good to say hello to her as well. But look, next week for the Eels, it is Magic Round. Now, this is the first Magic Round being played in the NRLW, and it is up at McDonald Jones Stadium. So pretty exciting for the NRLW competition, having a Magic Round. And look, there's some cracking games that are on. Probably one of the cracking games will be the Broncos up against the Sharks, but for these two that played on the weekend against each other, Newcastle and Parramatta, Newcastle, they play on the Sunday, the home side against the Raiders at 1:45pm, and then straight after that game at 3:45pm is the Eels taking on the Dragons. So the Dragons, they had a bit of a loss against the Broncos last week, so both Parramatta and the Dragons last start losers, so they will want to get a win and just to stay in touch with the top 6 and hopefully play finals at the end of the season. But yeah, look, a great concept, Magic Round. We've seen what it is like in the NRL. So hopefully it's 2 days of action on the Saturday and Sunday, 3 games on the Saturday, 3 games on the Sunday. So hopefully there is a big crowd up there at McDonald Jones Stadium. We all know that Newcastle fans get behind their team, and I dare say that the Newcastle public will probably get behind all of these sides, to be honest, and just watch a festival of rugby league. So yeah, this will be really interesting to see 6 games being played up at McDonald Jones Stadium, and it'll be interesting to see how the field holds up after 6 games. 3 on the Saturday, 3 on the Sunday. Be interesting to see the conditions that the Parramatta Eels and the Dragons are playing in the last game. That is always the question when a Magic Round is played up at Suncorp. Well, this is the first one in the NRLW, so it'll be interesting to see that one, that is for sure. But still not sure if I'll be up there or not for that game or not. On Sunday, still haven't made up my mind yet, but I will, whichever way, I will definitely be watching it, that is for sure, because the Eels are playing and I cannot miss a Parramatta Eels game. So that is all for the game review for the Eels and Newcastle Knights. As I mentioned, if I quickly just go to the ladder, the Newcastle side are in 3rd spot. Parramatta are in 6th spot with 2 wins, 2 losses, and a difference of -2. So not too bad a difference there. And they take on the Dragons next week up at Magic Round. Thank you very much for listening to this NRLW Round 4 review of the Eels and Newcastle Knights. As I said, if you do enjoy this content, please give me a follow on Instagram, Facebook, also Apple, Spotify, and any other podcast platform where you find the Paracave podcast. I really, really, really appreciate the support. And the Paracave podcast, by the fan, for the fans. Go Para! How you going, mate? Are you a Paracave podcast listener?
I am, bro. It's a great podcast. Everyone tune in. Go
Para.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Paracave Podcast. See you next time.